Welcome to Trance Talks. This is Susan Marco, and I hope you find this conversation as engaging as I did. Have a great day and enjoy. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this very different episode of Trance Talks. So, my computer seems to be lagging a little bit, so I apologize if the video is a little choppy. But Meryl and I have been. First of all, please meet Meryl Hayton.
Hi,
You may
everyone.
you may remember her from an earlier Trance Talks. She is, as you can see on her below her picture, she's a trauma informed inner peace specialist and an EFT practitioner, advanced, and just an all around beautiful soul and person. And why I can say that now is because for the last year, we have been we've embarked on this journey together, what I like to refer to as a gratitude accountability kind of sharing that we do on a daily basis. So, ooh, it you know what? It's a big commitment, but I am so grateful that we've done this, and we really felt like we wanted to share about, from each of our perspectives, how it's been for us and why this is a practice that, I know, Meryl, you feel the same way. Like, I recommend this to a lot of people.
Me too. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yesterday was our 1 year anniversary of doing it.
And we like it so much, we're going to keep going.
Yep.
So, the structure, what it looks like is that we have an app on our phone, which is like a walkie-talkie kind of idea. It's a talk to text that's easier than actually just texting. And it's called Voxer, Voxer, if anybody is interested in that. Maybe I'll put that in the show notes. Um, but what we do is we share with each other from a list of prompts, and then we reflect back to each other in an encouraging way and in a reflective way of, I mean, from my perspective, it's when somebody repeats what you've said in a clear way. Sometimes you hear things you didn't necessarily hear when you said them. And so
Hmm.
it makes it an even deeper practice in that sense. And so
Yep.
the things that we add, these are the things that we, from our original list, that the prompts. And of course, we have, we've probably taken some liberty with where we go with these, but pretty much this is where we are. We say three things we're grateful for, three things that we're letting go of, and then we added in what are we replacing that with, and then three things that we're affirming for ourselves, whether that's personal or business or whatever, three magical or synchronistic things that have happened, three things that I'm manifesting in my future, feeling gratitude for that now rather than waiting for it to happen, but just, creating that in our speaking. And then things that bring, or one thing that brings me joy, and one thing that I'm completing today. Whew.
And one thing that, like a magical synchronicity.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Three
I missed that.
magical or synchronistic
Oh,
things
yeah.
that have happened.
Yeah. And, we don't do exactly three every time. Sometimes we riff off on all the things that we're creating in our future, and it could be a paragraph long of things. And sometimes we might not say what we're affirming for ourselves. Sometimes we don't have things that we're letting go of. Sometimes we're like, what am I letting go of today? Because we're in a really, really, really good space, and then we're like, I don't know. Well, then we're not going to do that one today, So it's not exact every single time, but we message each other every single day. Though that is the commitment.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm laughing because when you said that, like, sometimes I don't have anything that I want to let go of. I think one of the days I said, I'm letting go of the need to let go of
Like,
anything.
yes.
Yeah. So I like it because you can make it your own.
Yeah,
It's a good framework. You don't have to stay specifically with that. You can do it, you can shorten it, you can make it longer. But
right.
we spend probably about, I'd say collectively about a half an hour every day,
Could be.
maybe a little more.
Yeah, I mean, our messages tend to be about 10 minutes sometimes, sometimes less, that we message each other. And the way I do it is I usually journal it first in my journal, and then I might read it. But then, I'm going off on a tangent of something, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me bring it back to, what I'm supposed to be doing. So sometimes we do talk longer than we kind of want to. Um, and then we might take 3 to 5 minutes to message each other back and reflect back or encourage each other in some way if we need it. Um, so yeah, so that's about 15 minutes of my time and about 15 minutes of your time. But then I do my own other stuff. If I journal first, that takes some time, and I might meditate or whatever else I'm doing. So it's a whole reflection practice
You know
for
what
sure.
I found, Meryl, and we've talked about this, is I, for me, it really keeps me in the frequency of what I want.
Yep.
I hold myself accountable, and I feel accountable to you, not in the way of that you're going to like call me out on something or, anything like that, but just somehow many years ago, I worked with um, a very talented healer, and he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, when you're healing something or when you're looking to change something, the universe is not going to go into your head and pull the words out. You have to say it out loud
Hmm.
or write it. You have to get it out of your head and tangible somehow. And that's when the universe can, respond and take action for, or at least, create the places for you to take action.
Yep.
So this has really proven this. I mean, I've never done anything like this before. And I have to say that, at least on a business level, but also in some ways personal, whew, I think things have really, like I've leveled up.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
keeps us really aware of what's happening, really conscious about what's happening. Um, and I mean, I know I feel more encouraged, more confident, because there's more, I'm attracting more because of the frequency that I'm in. So because I'm doing that, it creates more self-trust within self-trust within myself. It creates more self-trust, which increases my confidence, and that, uh, it increases the capability of more of that, of just increasing and up leveling more of that.
Mhm.
I sometimes picture it as a cauldron, and like an energetic cauldron of the confidence that I can hold, and how that thing keeps, getting bigger and bigger. And, it really is baby steps that help you to get to the things that you want. So the little baby steps that we take every single day by saying it and repeating it and completing things, right? And taking the action steps. And, it might be a day where we do nothing, you know, like
Right.
where um, maybe we don't feel great or we don't have clients in a day or something like that. And we're like, all right, well, I'm just going to do maybe some admin and nothing else, or go meet a friend for lunch, or, and those things are important too, right? This is not about just taking consistent action and pushing through, and it's the opposite of that. It's like, what do we really need separately? What do I need? What does Susan need separately in order to stay aligned and authentic to ourselves and continue to keep growing? And this practice um, just helps to bring that alive, I guess. You know?
Yeah, something else that, as you were talking, comes up for me is that when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with each other, I learn a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I learn a lot about you, but sometimes you'll say something that I hadn't considered,
Hmm.
or that, you know, like something will be difficult, right? And you'll share about the difficulty of that. And it will remind me of, yeah, I maybe I need to look at that for myself, because, that could be the thing that has been holding me back on some level. So it is almost, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's therapeutic, but in a sense, it
Yeah.
it feels that way sometimes, just that,
Hmm.
we're helping each other see each other and see ourselves in a clearer way.
Right. Right. And good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say bad because it's not bad. It's just all the parts of us, right? And yeah, and exactly. The more vulnerable that we can be with ourselves, the further along we're going to get. And at a faster pace, too.
Yeah, I see it kind of as like, I see the healed parts and I see the unhealed parts,
Hmm.
right? So, I can celebrate the healed parts, but then I can also be accountable to what's yet to be addressed or yet to be healed.
Right.
And that, to me, that is so priceless.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I was introduced to this practice 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I did it for a year with someone else. And then when we were ending our year, both of us I wanted to continue with someone else, and she wanted to do whatever, like, I don't know what she did. And that was great. And I remember telling Susan about it, and she said, I think I might want to do that with you. And, and I think before that, I put a lot of my energy into someone else is going to help me get to where I want to go. Not that we don't always like need that, so to speak, but I wanted to be able to create more of that on my own. And this practice has helped me, as I said before, just like step into more of my own authority and confidence. Um, I mean, for the last 2 years, I think that I do an evening practice also with someone else, and we are coming up on 2 years. Yeah, that we're doing that together. So I finish my day also with someone else, and so for the last 2 years I've been doing this, and I've probably before this I did some like future thinking and manifesting and law of attraction, and I studied a lot of that stuff, but I wasn't as consistent, and the consistency is what brings in the change, and what helps you to be more of that magnetic attractor, because your vibration is matching the things that you want. Like in your mind, you're like, I want whatever it is, more clients, a romantic partner, to feel better about myself, whatever the things are. But sometimes the energy in your body is like, I don't believe that I can have that. And I needed to work on matching that and bringing a coherence in that into my body, and I have. And that's what's helped me attract so much into my life.
She does have a romantic partner now.
I do have an amazing romantic partner.
Amazing, right?
I mean,
So aligned, so perfect for you.
so, yep, so
I
perfect.
mean, that's like, check.
Check. I know. Yeah, I remember in 2024 I said I attracted every single thing on my vision board. except for the romantic partner.
Hmm.
But then 2025, I did the same thing. I attracted everything that I wanted on my vision board and the romantic partner. So this practice really does have, um, I don't know what the word is.
Merit.
Merit. Thank you. Yes. Great
Yeah.
word. Hmm.
Yeah. Something else, as you were talking, I was just thinking about how, like in my language, the subconscious part of our brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined.
Hmm.
And the subconscious part of us wants us to be it wants to give us what we want. It wants to The subconscious is like a uh it's it's like an employee of the conscious mind, right? So if you look at it like a business, or a corporation, the conscious mind is the head of the corporation. The subconscious are all of the people in that kind of hold the space and work in the corporation, and they want to be told what to do. The subconscious wants to be told what to do. And when we, in hypnotic terms, when we talk about like future pacing, when we look at what is the future that I want, what does that look like, and specifically, what are the components of that for me, the subconscious mind is going to respond to that. And so you will be like sort of guided in a way that things will pop up. You'll think, like, if it's on a business level, let's just say, and let's say that I see myself doing speaking engagements or presentations, and I speak about that and I say it out loud. I'm going to be doing more presentations and networking and meeting people and blah blah blah. The next thing that happens mysteriously, just happened today, someone will point out about some kind of a Zoom training thing or some connection to speakers, for
Hmm.
speakers who want to talk. So that would not exactly. So that would not have happened,
That was me.
I think, or I wouldn't have been tuned into it in the
Right.
same way if we weren't doing what we're doing.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that both of us have learned the right way to say affirmations, and because for a long time it was like, I'm going to do this, or I will do that, or da 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 da. That was years ago, and that's not going to get you where you want to go. It's not going to attract the things that you want. So there is a little bit of science, I'll say, kind of behind this practice. Um, I think for it to be done efficiently.
Can you give people an example, like when you say,
Yeah.
the uh, most effective way to use an affirmation or to say an affirmation?
Yeah, I was like, I think we should give an example. So, just about the future part, like today I said, I'm grateful today and I'm celebrating today for all that I have created and manifested over the course of the next few months and beyond. And then I riff off of magical opportunities for my business, lots of referrals and clients coming in, and it could be like I have a somewhat new business Google business profile, so people are really finding me
Check
more
her
now.
out.
And uh, you know I'm I'm like writing, like putting together content for a podcast that I'm coming out with in a few months with a friend, and like we're writing a book together, and there's just like lots of things that go into running our businesses. And then all the things that I want to manifest in my personal life, like my intimacy keeps growing with my boyfriend, or um, I'm like having fun with my friends and entertaining and going dancing, and like whatever the thing, and I'm having so much fun, and I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it today. And that is the magnetic part of attracting and manifesting. So it's not like in 6 months I created blah blah blah, right? That's not what we do, right? Or it's like all of the plans that I have already scheduled over the course of the next few months, like everything worked out the way that it's supposed to, right? Even if I had to cancel things, which I've had, right? It's somehow it all worked out for me, right? Sometimes, in my business, I'm in an uncertain type of a place, or maybe there's a little bit of a lull going on, where I feel like I haven't had some new clients come in, or I've had to cancel a program or something like that. So it's important to say, well, it was meant to be. Somehow it all worked out, right? And staying in that frequency helps you to continue to just, well, one door closes and another one opens, right? And just keeps the flow going.
Yeah, I love that. And sometimes it's a little hard to get there, right? It's sometimes it can be hard to feel that gratitude, right? And there are days when I know we've both felt this way. It's like, ugh, there's not, I just can't, I'm just, I get in resistant, or I'm just feeling low. But guess what? We'll jump on and talk about that.
Yep.
But I'm having a tough day, and it's hard to find things to be grateful for. And I don't know where I'm going in 6 months. And that's
Mhm.
okay too,
Yep.
to give yourself the space to
Be.
yeah, just be where you
Yeah. Just
are.
be where, meet yourself where you're at is so important.
Yeah. And
Is
and
so important.
also in the languaging, um, I think I naturally feel what I'm saying. However, I sometimes will say what I am creating in this next period of time, whatever time you want to set to it. And as I'm speaking it, I'm getting excited about the creating of it.
Right.
Right. So it's just a different, sometimes it'll come in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to, we had some questions. Do we want to
Yeah.
do those?
So I love using ChatGPT for some things, and I asked it for some help to give us some questions, um, and I want to just say, like, um, I said, my friend Susan and I have been accountability buddies every day in the morning for a year, and we're going to do a podcast together to talk about it, on our anniversary. What are 5 questions we could ask each other to make it interesting for potential viewers? And it says, oh, I love this idea. Daily accountability for a full year is no joke. That alone is podcast worthy. It just makes me laugh doing that. Okay, so one question is, what did you think this accountability practice would be like when we started, and how has it really surprised you?
Well, I think how it has surprised me, we did touch on that a little bit. I was pretty open. I wasn't really sure what to expect from it. I I probably am most surprised by what I perceive as the outcome. Like I did not imagine that this could bring the a result, such a tangible result, I guess
Mm-hmm.
is how I'll
Yeah.
say it. The result has been very tangible in
Right.
some of the things that I said 6 months ago that I wanted to see happening now are happening.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest surprise for me. How
Mm-hmm.
about you?
Yeah. Um, you know, when I started, um, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing. The person who I learned this from, right, and then I did the year with my other friend Safriana, and then I knew how that helped me, and I was like, I want to continue with someone. And you definitely have to pick someone who you're really aligned with, right?
Right.
Someone who is really gonna, show up and do it. And I'm grateful that Susan said yes, because we really are such a great match. Um, and maybe that is part of what surprised me. I wasn't really sure how it was going to go with us, you know? We didn't know each other on the level that we do now, when we first started a year ago. Um, so, yeah, I think it's, and we want to continue, right? I mean, that says a lot
Yeah.
that we want to continue.
Yeah, I agree with that alignment piece. Like, I see so much of myself in you.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Like, I think we're a perfect mirror for each other.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Um, I think we did this already, but can you share a moment when you didn't want to show up, but did anyway, and how that changed the rest of your day or life?
Yeah, there have been a few days when I just was really not feeling it. And sometimes I just push through. Sometimes I'll jump on and say, I don't even know what to say
Mm-hmm.
right now. And, I think for me, what the gain in that is, it's the consistency piece. Like, even if you don't feel like doing it, just do it anyway.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
even if if you're not like, you don't have the exact words or it doesn't, like there are some days I'm just like, what am I even going to talk about? What am I going to
Mm-hmm.
say today?
Right.
But the action of it's action, it's taking the action.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I know. For me, sometimes I don't have the time to do a whole morning routine. I don't have the time to journal, but at least I'm like, let me just jump on for a few minutes and just blurt out some things, right? And there are some days where I'm like, I don't know what magical thing happened, and there, I could say that my boyfriend brings me joy every day, or I could say my cat brings me joy every day, or something. It's not necessarily like a different thing every day, but and I know that we do it anyway, whether we're on vacation or what. I mean, we continue to do it, and I know that we've talked about sometimes if we have like a very early morning or a very busy day, we're like, should we skip? It's okay if you want to skip. Um, or if we're going away, it's like we want to honor what the other person wants or needs. And, I'm of the mindset that I want to do it regardless, you know, whatever's happening.
Yeah,
And,
you've brought me along with you on that because
yeah.
there are times when I feel like I don't know if I'm going to really be able to do it, if I'm going to have time to do it, but you know what, now I make time because
Yeah.
it's that's our agreement with each other.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing.
How has having daily accountability shifted your relationship with yourself, not just your productivity?
Yeah, again, I would say again, for me, it's I'm in that higher frequency more regularly, right? Because some of the things we share, it's not only about our business that we do this.
Right.
We share about personal things, and you know, um, I would say reminding myself every morning, like being in starting the day out with that gratitude sets the tone for the day.
Yep.
So I'm already elevating myself to what I'm grateful for. And it's, energetically, I don't know, it just brings you to that space, to that state that, and I'm very aware that it's a choice, I'm choosing to stay in that gratitude.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely have a more accepting and loving relationship with myself because of this practice.
Yeah.
I mean, productivity wasn't my problem. Like I'm always just the nature of who I am is consistent, driven, like action taker. But I do it from a much more grounded and um, aligned place. Like I used to do it through fear or worry or pushing, and that kind of thing. And I don't do anymore. Um,
Yeah, I've got to witness. I've enjoyed witnessing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that kind of progression and expansion from, you know, because it's so many things are hard in life, especially when we're independent and we have to rely on ourselves, and choosing to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is not for the faint of heart.
It's a beautiful thing though, right? If um when you're I'm not sure what the word is, but like um when it works, and when you work it,
Hmm.
and you do all the things that need to be done to to maintain and sustain that, it's
Right.
beautiful. But
Yeah, but it is a constant, like, shape shifting. I'll use that
yeah,
term. It's like constantly developing new relationships, constantly putting yourself out there in maybe new ways and creating new programs, and it's a constant thing. And we need space and downtime in order for that to happen. So it's really learning how to manage what we individually need to do that.
yeah. And figuring out how to do it in a way that is from grace and acceptance, and that inner peace, which is, it's just wonderful that this is where you are
Yeah.
in your practice, in that, because you've definitely cultivated that. I've gotten to
Yeah.
witness that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, and you've helped me, for sure.
yeah.
One last question is, if someone listening wants more consistency or self trust, but feels like they always fall off, what would you tell them from lived experience? Well, I think the whole thing that we've been doing is, kind of answered that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything
I would
else you
s-
want to
I
share.
would just say, like, do it anyway. Like, be aware of that there is a part of you, that comfort zone, where
Right.
like there's a certain part of us that our subconscious mind would rather us be on the couch with a feeding tube watching
Right.
Netflix. Because nothing bad is going to happen. I'm safe on the couch, but there's no growth that happens in
Yep.
that either. So it's really making a commitment to yourself that if that's what you want, if you really want to grow and continue to expand and level up, and all the things, consistency and action are key to that. And to me, this kind of accountability really, it keeps me on track, and so I can't, like, recommend it enough for people that
Yeah.
are looking for that.
I know. Amazing.
So did you
And
answer that question?
well, what one thing that I'll say about that is, if you feel like you're someone who always falls off, excuse me, you need to find an accountability buddy that's going to keep you accountable, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that you're not both falling off together, right? So that's just one thing that I would say is, like, you've got to pick someone that maybe is, just has that more of that consistency and drive and everything.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
What else do we want to share? Is there anything else that you want to say?
Um, this is an optional question it has here. Do you think accountability works because of structure, connection, or something deeper, and why? Um, I think all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the structure obviously is the consistency part every day. The connection, we say how we feel so aligned and connected, um, and the something deeper. Um, um, I guess is just the safe container that we share together. I think that is something that we bring in our businesses, and that is something that we bring together in this container that we have. Um, so I think for us, that's the something deeper, is that we can share whatever, bring whatever,
Yeah.
that,
I've loved that also. I agree with everything you said. But what I love is that we've grown together to that sort of place of feeling safe to say the things that we really wouldn't say to very many people,
exactly.
you know, like sharing when we're really down the rabbit hole with something,
Yep.
like have created that safety with each other. And that, to me, that is a personal learning as well of, being able to feel that safety with other people, to know that we're safe, and
Yep.
also creating that in my other relationships, in my family, you know, and certainly in our practice. I think this has made me, on
Yeah.
some level, a better practitioner as well.
Same. Absolutely. The
Yeah.
same. The more that I am vulnerable with myself and with Susan, the safer I feel, sharing that kind of stuff with other people, or really stepping outside my comfort zone um, in some tough situations. Making, I mean, in this business, we have to make some tough decisions sometimes. And yeah, so
Well, this has been a fun chat.
it has.
Really
It really
appreciate it.
has.
I didn't want to interrupt you before, but your little kitty cat Sammy was in the window a
Yeah,
couple of minutes ago. So cute, popping her head in.
I know she was. I was trying to kind of keep her out a little bit.
Oh, invite her in. I think
Yeah,
everybody
she
would
likes
love
to
to
be on
see your
video.
little Sammy.
She's off to the kitchen, probably looking for some food.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
both of us are here for you. We're here for you in our professional capacity, but also, if you have thoughts or questions or things that come up for you about this practice, reach out to either one of us, because we'd be happy to help you navigate through figuring out how this could work for you.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, absolutely. Um, yeah, so thank you for celebrating our 1 year together, and you know, we'll do this again next year.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening. And if this is interesting to you and you want to hear more on this topic or more about anything in particular, let us know. I'm going to be expanding out trans talks to, I don't know, I'm going to expand, and we'll see where it goes and how that looks. But I know Meryl is going to be creating her own podcast as well. So we'll keep you
Yep.
abreast. Just follow us on social, or, I think if you're watching or listening, you're probably already in our email list. But if you're not, let us know and we'll happily add you to what we have coming up. So
Yes.
thanks. Thanks, Maren. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
I know. Thank you so much. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.